I need your emotional support for this one. Hey everyone, this is Adam with the Inkstein channel, and today we're going to explore the Dead Boys poem. Oh, oh, uh, how many times is it possible for a band to kill you and then bring you back to life? I swear to God. Okay, so again, another emotionally moving one. For me personally, as I've explored these lyrics, I've spent a ton of time at this point watching The Friar, watching some other breakdowns, hearing about this poem from subscriber comments, and I got, man, I seriously. So there's a couple of things I want to point out before we start with this video. There's this concept we talk about in theater criticism, which is that there are things which are theatrical but are not theater. And we refer to that as a thing theatrical. Well, I got to tell you, this piece is a thing theatrical. In fact, in my view, this is the most musical theater-esque piece so far that I have viewed from NIGHTWISH, or at least responded to on the channel from NIGHTWISH. There's a couple more that have sort of theatrical elements. When we talk about something like Ghost Love's score, one might be inclined to say that that's theatrical, but I would disagree. I think that's more cinematic than theatrical, because when we talk about a thing theatrical, we're talking about the conventions that would be sort of upheld on the stage, whereas Ghost Love score is clearly, story-like, and it clearly shifts POV, and we get response in the music and in the vocals and in the lyrics from multiple points of view, and it ranges. Holy crap, does it range? But I don't need to tell you that. It's more cinematic than it is theatrical, whereas I think the Dead Boys poem and a few others, which I'll respond to a little later on, are very theatrical. In fact, one could sort of lift these out of a concert setting, put them into the core of a musical theater setting, and it would still work kind of as a metal musical. Not that I'm suggesting that Thomas do a metal musical, although I'm there for it, but nonetheless, this is a very theatrical piece, very theatrical piece. So let's get into it. Again, I'll try and avoid songus interruptus because this thing builds and it ebbs and it flows. I don't know, kind of like an ocean soul maybe. And let's just get into it. We'll dive into it right now. Oh, that guitar. I know Tank's broken it down, but damn. Gorgeous.
Perfect concert, my best friend. So much to live for, so much to die for. If only my heart had known. Sing what you can't say, forget what you can't play.
Okay, I want to jump on this lyric here real quick. Sing what you can't say, forget what you can't play. Oh, gorgeous, particularly from the point of view of the young composer who is, in my view, clearly able to say in the music the things which he's not able to express directly. And when I say music, I mean music and lyrics. Uh, Digging back into the Wayback File recently, I can very much relate to this idea of there's someone who you want to pour out your soul to, your love to, and you're so afraid of rejection that you can't express it directly. So you write her a song, you write her a poem, you share the song or the poem almost as if the work is written to anyone, someone else, anyone else. So you don't have to face the fact that that person may not return your feelings. To me, that's so much of what's going on in this piece overall. It's all about the young poet, the young composer who is able to express through the lyrics, the music, what they are too afraid to tell the people they care about in a more direct fashion. And that's something that I could so relate to from my young man years as a poet and as a composer. It's just so raw and honest. It gets me right where I live. And it's so beautifully done. Let's see it being beautifully done instead of me running my mouth about it.
Hasten to drown into beautiful eyes. Walk within my poetry, this dying music. My love letter to nobody.
Love letter to nobody.
Never sigh for better world. It's already composed, played and told.
Gorgeous.
Every thought, the music I wrote, everything I wish for the night.
Okay, before we move on, that that it's so musical theater. It's so musical theater. Also, I've watched a number of responses to this, and I haven't heard anyone come out and say it. So I'll be the Neanderthal in the room who does. A Wish for the Night. The band is NIGHTWISH. That is not a thinly veiled allegory. It's not veiled at all. The idea that this band, all of this work, this kingdom he'll refer to later, that he's creating. Okay, come on. Who doesn't think this is yet another song about Tarja? And so beautifully done. And I have to talk about the initial guitar line. It's simple, it's basic, it's the kind of thing that a young musician just starting to sort of wake up, flex his muscles would write. Just a very basic, not even difficult to play guitar line that Marco's playing at the beginning. And then it builds into something greater and more epic. Damn genius.
Wrote for the eclipse, wrote for the virgin, died for the beauty, the one in the garden, created a kingdom, reached for the wisdom, failed in becoming a god.
Okay, and I want to touch on that line, failed at becoming a god, for a minute. There's been so much speculation about what that means, but I think what he's getting for in that is sort of an ironic statement. The fact that he is unable to succeed in being in control of everything in his environment and in his world. Beautiful phrase again. Doing it to me again.
Remember only the verse, some makers cry, the one without tears. For I've given this its strength, and it has become my only strength. Comforting home, mother's lap, chance for immortality, where the wanted became a thrill I never knew. The sweet piano writing down my life.
Oh. And again, as always, Empu, just what he needs to do to add to everything. He's looking a little rough there too, but no more and no less than is necessary to add to the emotional impact and context of the song.
So much more I wanted to give to the ones who love me. I'm sorry. Time will tell. This bitter farewell. I live no more to shame, nor me, nor you. And you, I wish I didn't feel for you anymore.
Okay, that line, holy shit. Okay. That that shame you nor me line anymore. I have a different take on it. If you have ever been someone who expresses yourself through art to express your emotions for another person, when that person, if they don't share your view, they're often embarrassed by the creation that you've made and their response to that creation. It's a weird thing. Happened to me once back in, I think it was 1990. Back on one of the other playlists of the channel, I'm going to do a retrospective of old stuff. And there was a song that I'd written back then. And again, this, of course, is not about me, but it's how it relates, how I relate. I wrote this song for this young lady who I was nuts about, absolutely nuts about. And when she heard it, and I didn't tell her it was about her, and we were in a group of people working on a creative project. When she heard this song, it was relayed to me. That when she heard it, I had given her the poem earlier privately. And then when she had heard that I had turned it into a song for the overall production we were working on, she cried. And then she wouldn't talk to me. And it was very confusing to my 17-and-a-half-year-old self about, wait, I wrote this beautiful thing. Why won't you talk to me now? And it became clearer later, as I matured a little, that when you create a piece of art for someone and they don't share those feelings, sometimes there's a sense of embarrassment that they feel about your stuff. And if, just going out on a limb here, if Tuomas is writing all of this stuff for Tarja, And he presents this work to her, and she does not reciprocate those feelings. She might feel ashamed. She might feel embarrassed by it. First of all, the intensity of someone's emotion toward you and your embarrassment that you're not responding the way others might expect you to respond. And of course, this line, it's on the screen right here. And you, I wish I didn't feel for you anymore. I've been there, man. I've been there. Oh my God. And when you're a poet and you're ruled by your emotion, as young poets tend to be, you do wish that you didn't feel that way about the person who doesn't share those feelings, or about the people's whose acceptance you're trying to gain, or any of those reasons why you're writing the poem or investing in the work that may be outside of yourself, which, let's face it, so many young artists are not creating for the intrinsic reward of creation, as many of us do later on in life. They're writing for acceptance. They're writing to be understood. They're writing to be related to. And when that is not returned, when you're not getting, as the artist, what you want, it can be devastating. And I think that's where we're at here. Apologies for taking it into my own stuff, but I'm always honest with you here on the channel, and this piece is so moving to me because I relate to it so deeply, having been that young artist. And it just, this piece kills me. She is holding court. And they're there for it. They're like, hell yeah. Driving beat too, basic but driving. And I know we're kind of missing what they're saying. Time will tell. And you hear how that ends, and that's theatrical. I mean, you kind of want to know, okay, what happens next? What happens next in the story? Oh man. How do we even go on? How is it that young poets become old poets? Sometimes I wonder, it's the emotional turmoil of youth, I feel. And I know floating around the internet, there are different interpretations, and that's cool. As I say over and over again, it's what does it mean to you? How does it make you feel? What does it awaken in you or cause you to reflect in whatever way? It's clearly moving. And that's the experience. It's the clearly moving experience. And wow, what a theatrical thing this piece is. I thank you for taking some time and going through that journey with me. As always, use your words, man. Your words have power. Use them and use them wisely. Take care of your mind, body, and spirit. It's so important in these times in particular to care for all three. I hope you'll like and subscribe. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Got some more great sort of deconstruction videos coming up. Hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos. Hey, if you just want to stick with the Nightwish stuff, that's cool. I'm not offended. I'm not upset. If you want to check out some of the other stuff on the channel, that's great too. I want people on this journey with me. I'm so grateful to the Nightwish Army and this wonderful community for embracing my exploration of this work and the rabbit hole dreamscape exploration that I'm doing through Tuomas's composition and Nightwish's work overall, and breaking down performance and staging and literary criticism and all of that stuff sort of mashed together. I appreciate the way you're embracing it. Stick with me. I'll stick with you. Be well. Hope to see you in the next video.